called house, now I am a bill copper. Made it like skinnies, young money we winning. I told her if I change, she won't get a penny. Milking this shit, talking bitch titties.
Alright, what's going on, YouTubers? Saying hello to y'all. I got my buddies Arrow and NetTaz here. Why don't you guys say hello? Alright, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to go to orbit here real quick. And we're going to be going into Crucible, doing some free-for-all. We've been doing this for a little while now. So, let's see how we do. I think we've been doing okay so far. But, you know. Most definitely. Launching this classic free-for-all, see how we do against each other. But you know, me coming out on top is just a natural ability of mine. You mean when I stole it from both of y'all? I know. Hopefully we can get this to load up here, so that way YouTubers that do fully watch this in the future won't be waiting too long. You know, I wanna start up a controversial conversation here. Once you guys are done with whatever you're gonna say, Arrow, go ahead. Sister, sister. No. No, I haven't. Alright, here. So, let me ask you both this. This is going to be a controversial conversation. Don't get too butthurt, but this is one of those topics that are touchy and nobody likes to talk about. Religion. Religion. What do you guys believe in? You guys believe in God? Alright. I am an atheist. I do not believe in God. I do not believe there is a higher power. Okay? No. I believe there is no heaven nor hell. I believe when I die, I'm going to be put 6 feet under the ground, and that's it. No. Now, let me ask you this. Why is it that you believe in God? Okay. Okay, so you want that hope that they just didn't go out and they're gone. Okay. Okay. Now what do you believe is a spirit then? Okay. Okay, awesome. To a butterfly or some shit? Alright. Okay. So then, now this is where things get a little interesting for me. I believe in science, okay, the science of all things. So, one of my uncles actually made a very good point to me. He doesn't necessarily believe in God either, or spirits necessarily, but he believes in something a little more odd. He kind of believes in spirits, just a little bit. And this is what gets me thinking as well. So, what runs through every human body? Besides blood, organs, veins, stuff like that. No, close. Okay, what runs through those nerves?
You're in the lead. Heavy ammo inbound.
Electricity. Now, do you know one interesting fact about electricity? It never goes out.
Available.
So, even when you're dead, it doesn't go out either. So where does that electricity go? See? So that's where people get a lot of the ideas for it's spiritual, it's stuff like that. And it just goes through that. It goes to show where my belief goes a little bit weirder, because I don't necessarily believe in spirits, but I believe in that sole fact, like, something's going to happen to the electricity in my body, because what allows us to have thoughts, what allows us to have speech, what is allowing us to play this game right now is the electricity running the nerves throughout our brain and our body. Now, I don't believe there's miracles, I believe there's coincidences, but there's some definitely fantastic coincidences that can happen and whatnot. But that whole idea of the electricity leaving the body and, like, where does it go later, that's where people get the idea of reincarnation. Exactly. And that's also where they get the idea of possession. Yes. Right. Exactly. That's where people get the idea of possession. Oh shit. Exactly. Correct. Now, do you believe in the Bible?
5 minutes left.
Okay. Do you know why I believe in the Bible? History. History is written in figmentation. So, why is there so many different color skins for Jesus? Not exactly. The Bible states that Jesus he didn't have a pale complexion. He wasn't white. He was a little bit on the darker side. He wasn't black necessarily. He had a more of an Egyptian. Exactly. He had a more of an Egyptian skin tone. So, when you take that into account, why is it that white people say he's white, black people say he's black, or anything like that?
Heavy ammo available.
No, because of what they've been told over history itself.
Let the sting of this defeat feed your
Which is okay and all, like, that's fine. But, you know, here's the thing. When it says, and God on this, I think third or fourth day or whatever, he said, let there be light. Okay? This is where I believe in aliens. Now, I don't want to turn this whole conversation like, oh, he's a freak, he believes in aliens. No, nothing like that. It's, you know, how did we first discover fire? How did we even get these technological advances? Pyramids, there is no actual way slaves could have built it, and it's scientifically been proven without machinery, like actual current day machinery, there was no way they could have built it, because they said, oh, they took these 2-ton blocks on logs through miles and miles of desert. Now, it is impossible. Here's a few reasons why. One, they're near the actual pyramids themselves. There are not trees, even trees, for miles and miles around. Okay? For 2-ton blocks, you would need at least 100 slaves to pull it on those logs, and then 30 more slaves to move those logs in front at a constant pace. It would take them hundreds and thousands of years to build it, but yet our history books say they were only built within a few years. How is that possible? There has to be some sort of other being, or there had to have been some sort of technology at the time that allowed them to build them. So and then not only that, the Bible was written in the 1400s, but yet it says that the Bible's been there since the beginning of time and was just discovered. How can we find fragments of other planets and other universes from places we haven't even seen before, still discovering new minerals on our planet after billions and billions? If something didn't happen. Now, I don't want to discourage any of your guys' belief. I encourage you to keep believing in God and Jesus and the Bible itself to increase your hope in life and in itself. I completely encourage that. I'm not against any religion. I've taken my time over the years just to learn about what each religion is about. Like, I know a bit about Muslims, I know a bit about the Jews' religion, I know about Christianity, Catholicism, not Muslims, Mormons. It's an art form, really.
You're in the lead.
I can hear the gears in your minds turn and there's just silence. Now, alright.
You're falling behind.
So then what do you guys believe Mormonism is? What do you think a Mormon's belief is? Mormons. Mormons? Okay. So, in Catholicism, there is one wife that you are allowed to have. That is it. And if she dies or you die, you guys are not allowed to remarry. Divorce is not allowed in any sense or form. The child must be near their parents at all times. You must go to church every Sunday. There's no question about it. Correct? You have to make sure that you call your reverend and let them know and let them pray for you. Those are the normal statutes of limitations for Catholics. searching my mind for the information here. They don't necessarily believe. That's where abstinence comes into effect for Catholics and Christians, is they don't believe in having sex with anyone but their wife. So, not until after marriage. So now, do you know what Mormons believe in? Okay, think of it this way. Are Jesus and God the same or different? In Mormonism, Jesus and God are the same. Jesus was an after spirit of God to show people what God was truly like. So then, now their take on marriage is different. They are allowed to they're allowed to divorce if they don't believe that they found their soulmate. They are allowed. They don't have to have. Abstinence is not a thing for them. They may have intercourse with other women before they find their actual mate themselves. No, that's you can remarry. And I think, if I remember correctly, I may be wrong, and if there are viewers in the future that are watching this, I want them to correct me, because I love to get information. I love information. I think they're allowed to have more than one wife, unless that's just a different religion. It's just very frowned upon. But I'm giving information. But then not only that, Muslims. So you see how Muslims are put down in this day and age. Why is that?
Heavy ammo on the way.
Okay. I mean, that's fine and all.
Heavy ammo available.
Muslims are frowned upon now because terrorist attacks have made us fear what the actual religion is about. Kind of. It's not all related to ISIS. It's not all related to Osama bin Laden. It's just a collective scare over the Islamic people and the oh jeez, I'm forgetting the race. No. Okay, never mind. Besides that, it's the sole fact that Muslims' whole religion is about peace and equality between everyone that they come in contact with. Not about discriminating because of skin color or anything like that. It's all about equality between the people itself, not necessarily between genders, but between people. In Muslim religion, the male runs the house, the male makes the money, the woman has to stay home and do the, as for lack of better words, the wifely duties. Which is cooking, cleaning, taking care of the house, the kids. I guess. But they've been given a really bad name and it's May, unless you're a loner. No, but so I feel really bad for the Muslims' religion and whatnot, because they do take a lot of shit and they don't give a lot back, you know? No, I mean, like, they don't give shit towards people. They don't, like, fuck with nobody. They have very giving hearts, no doubt. So, that brings me into my next topic here, which is also supposed to be an off-limits piece of conversation. Can you guys guess what it is? No? No guesses? Politics. One of the most argumentative pieces of conversation that should never be brought up. But I'm gonna bring it up anyways. So, politics. Do you know what the original Republican Party and Democratic Party was? It's exactly what we have now, but it was flipped. The Republicans were the Democrats, and the Democrats were the Republicans. During Abraham Lincoln's presidency, he ran as a Democrat, but with Republican views. So, at that point in time, it kind of did a switch, and that's where we had our liberals, that's where we had our independents to take into account. Yeah, it's our independent parties. And that's where we had a lot of people that were on the fence. So, probably that it's dying. No, it's alright. So, think of today now. We had presidents that were in middle of war. Like, they actually served before they actually took presidency. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln himself as well. Yeah, all the way up until Franklin D. Roosevelt. I think he was the last one that actually served before we just had regular old lawyers and businessmen. So now, how does it change from a person who has served in the military to a businessman running our country? How does that change our country? Or here's a better question. How do you think it changes our country? Oh, shit. How do you think our country is run now on businessmen based on how it was ran before by military men?
You're falling behind.
Now, why is that? Why is it that you think that?
Heavy ammo on the way.
Okay. What about you, Arrow? How do you think our country is ran now based on versus businessmen versus military men?
Heavy ammo available.
Okay. Why do you say that? Okay. Okay. We've had taxes since the beginning. Alright, now here's my view on it. So what is I'll give some knowledge on based on this with a question. How or what is the focus of our country nowadays? Go ahead, continue on. Continue on, Net Test. Okay, Arrow. I could tell that hit. I could tell that hit you real quick. What is it? What is it that you disagree with there? What do you think that we're focused on?
Five minutes remaining. Double down.
Alright, alright.
The enemy's almost won.
Okay.
Heavy ammo inbound.
Do you want me to tell you what this country and what our people is being focused on? No, what we're actually focused on?
Ammo available. You may be defeated, but you must never surrender.
Debatable. Again, debatable. Because, think of it this way. Our country now... Yeah, oh shit. How did I get a 2.0? What the hell? I wasn't even focused. Alright. What this country is run on nowadays, what its main focus is, making money. It's all about the dollar. But here's the thing. Exactly, I find that funny as well. Why is it that our main focus is money if we're $1 trillion in debt? Do you know how we got $1 trillion in debt? No. We actually hardly owe China anything. Only a little bit, yes. Yeah, only by a few billion. But believe me, that's nothing. That's nothing. Compared to trillions of dollars of debt that we are actually in. Do you know who with? No. I'll give you a hint. It's not a country of any kind. No. I'll give you a hint. It's a bank. No. It's a bank that produces all of the world's money. No. The Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve prints the entire world's money. And they give the value to each country. The Federal Reserve isn't run by a specific country of any kind. Not that I'm aware of. Again, if future viewers watch this, please correct me. I would love for the information to come to my brain. But it's something that we owe to a bank. Of all things, we owe a bank trillions of dollars.
You're in the lead.
It's not necessarily all of the government's fault. It's they fall into the trap. Not really. It's the trap of feeling important, for lack of better words.
You're falling behind. Gained the lead.
Exactly. So
Lost the lead. You're in the lead. You're falling behind.
again, debatable. Hold on. No, hold on. Don't start like throwing knives at me and casting the cross over me or nothing. I'll explain why on that here in a minute. Like I'm about to hit you with some serious knowledge. So, with our government focused on making money and not knowing exactly how, this brings me to presidents. Our current presidential election. Okay, Netaz, you are old enough to vote. Arrow, I know you're old enough to vote. I'm old enough to vote. I'm turning 21 on the 28th. So, yeah, it's alright. I don't celebrate birthdays too much, so, nah. But, now, who would you guys vote for?
You're in the lead. 2 for 1.
Bernie Sanders? Okay. Now, do you know why you would vote for Hillary Clinton? What's so special about her? Yes, for some part of it, but it also outsourced a lot of our jobs and put us in a predicament. Bush actually didn't do as bad as people think. You mean Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton had a decent presidency. Just going off the fact that she's Bill Clinton's wife isn't necessarily a solid ground, in my opinion, that is. But I understand your reasoning behind that. I do not. Oh, yes. No, that's an actual term. Yeah, that's an actual term. Do you know what an anchor baby is? Do you know what an anchor baby is? No. You were close. It's when an immigrant goes out into uncharted waters and has a baby. They can then receive citizenship a lot easier than an illegal immigrant. Yes, they still would. It's just an easier process. That is an anchor baby. Now again, future viewers, correct me if I am wrong, and tell me if NetTaz was right, because I would love to be corrected. I love information. So, now you're saying you hate Trump now, besides originally. Now, you know that Trump is one of the most hated and one of the most liked candidates, correct? I know that sounds a little controversial, but
Heavy ammo available.
no, what has actually set off a hate is his discrimination towards illegal immigrants taking our jobs. Like, he doesn't like the fact that we have immigrants working and taking jobs that could be used for Americans and solving our job issues. Now, right. Now, don't get me wrong, it's... I don't hate him. Hate is a strong word. I don't personally agree with some of his views. Which was what? Yes, but he had a solution for that. Do you know what that was?
The chaos of battle, or you'll never know victory.
He was going to have Mexico pay and build for the border. I don't know how he would do it. And that's not the reason, exactly. I don't know how he would have done that. Or how he would or possibly could do that. But the reason I don't personally agree with his views is that he's created this hate towards Muslims, towards immigrants in general, even though they're just normal people. That's why I don't necessarily agree with his views. And he's taken it a little too far with the whole building a wall idea. It's almost like we're putting up a quarantine. Not necessarily like we're diseased, like everybody else is. Do you know one small thing about Trump? How many times has Donald Trump gone bankrupt? Take a guess. Arrow? Alright. How many would you guess, Arrow? Donald Trump has actually gone bankrupt 5 times. 5. And he is still considered one of the richest men in the world. So that is the only good thing that I can see about Trump becoming president, is because America is bankrupt right now. We're trillions of dollars in debt. He might be able to solve that issue. That's the only good thing that can really come out of it. Because you know what happens if we come out of this debt, right?
The enemy is everywhere.
Well, we go back to how it was like in the 50s, where things costed 50 cents, 25 cents, stuff like that. Gas was super cheap. What do you mean? Oh yeah, believe me, that's not going to be an easy feat. He'll bring the... What will happen if he does that and brings us out of our debt is he'll bring up the value of our dollar tremendously. That it would be, yes. But now, do you know why a lot of people support Hillary Clinton? Because she's female. Have we ever had... Exactly. He was our first black president. Have we ever had a female president? Never. We've never had a female president. So wouldn't that be interesting if we finally came up and had a female president for the first time? Alright. Exactly. Oh, of course. You base your judgments off of your experiences and your exposures.
Heavy ammo inbound.
Yes.
Heavy ammo available.
Exactly. So now this is... Exactly.
Double down.
Now, you do realize every president has actually had a view that supports all of the people. It's just the rest of their views don't necessarily support the rest of the people. It supports business. So now, why is it that everybody has to... Yes. So why is it that everybody criticizes what a president does if they can't do the job themselves. Exactly. Thank you.
Only 5 minutes.
Exactly. Exactly. Why is it that people have to judge?
Heavy ammo on the way. Heavy ammo available. They've almost won.
Okay. And Net says, why do you think people judge? Okay. Now this is an opinionated question. There is no right or wrong answer, nothing like that. It's all based on how you view what your life is. And it honestly goes back to what I said before, experience and exposure. I have to give credit to my economics teacher,
Let the sting of this defeat be
Mr.
your
Delecky.
fire.
He is a great guy. He knows a lot of information about a lot of things. And he was right about this. It's the sole fact that you base your opinions, you base your actions and how you live your life on how you've experienced life and your exposure to life itself. Let me think here. So, okay, here's a question. How can, and I've seen this before, a person who has nothing judge people who have nothing and act like they have everything, while there are people who have everything and don't judge people at all? How do you think they were raised differently? How do you think each person was raised? Okay, but wouldn't that make the person selfish? Then how come we have spoiled brats that are judging people for having nothing? So then how does a person who is also spoiled and has everything that they want not judge somebody for something? You hit it almost on the nose. Most rich people who have come up from nothing will not judge people who have nothing. But you still have those that do judge people who have nothing. Because to them they think, oh, I'm this big person now. How come this person can't do what I just did? It's so simple. Exactly. There's exactly. So what is that? You said it like exactly right. So what does that take us back to? Experience and exposure. There we go. I honestly have no idea. I'm trying to think it. So I don't have much time left in this stream here. I want to keep my streams down to an hour. So, and there's about 8 minutes left. Yeah. So, what have you guys, in collective, just to wrap this up, what have you guys really learned? Or what has changed your views within our conversation here about religion and politics and how people act? Okay, that's interesting. Why is that?
Heavy ammo on the way.
Uh-oh. Alright. Not a problem, man. Thank you, NetTest.
Heavy ammo available.
Okay. Alright.
Falling behind.
Alright, so Right. Okay. So, Nettaz, tell me, what, from our conversation here, if you could keep it brief, what is it that you see differently, or how do you, has your opinions or any of your views really changed? Okay. And then, what about your thoughts on religion in general? Has that changed in any way, or are you seeing it any different? Okay. Awesome. And then what about how you see politics now, businessmen versus military men?
Heavy ammo inbound.
Okay.
Heavy ammo available. You're in the lead.
I want to thank
The lead.
Nettaz and Arrow here for being on with this conversation, especially. It's a bit of a controversial topic, and it can definitely cause arguments, so don't try this at home, kids. Just kidding. Please do. Please do this at home, you know? I want you guys to start up these controversies. I want you to see how things are ran differently out there. I want you to be able to experience and exposure different things, so that way you can have your own opinion on other things. And I'm speaking to Nettaz, to Arrow, and to also to the other YouTubers that may watch this video. And it's definitely keep your mind working, keep the gears going, because you want to definitely be able to see in your own way instead of following somebody else all the time. Being like, oh yeah, I agree with that way. Why do you agree? I don't know. It's just because he said it. Don't be that guy. You know, be the person that you want to be on your own. So you just got to be who you are without any regrets of anybody else getting in the way of that. So I don't know if you viewers see any difference in how you see religion. Just note that I am a neutral person on almost every topic. I have my own set beliefs that I keep to myself, but I love to know other people's for the sole fact that it helps me learn, and it may change my views. And if people are interested in my views, all they got to do is ask. So I want to say thank you to the viewers that are watching this or are going to be watching this, and definitely leave your opinions in the comments. I would love to read about them and love to see just exactly what you think on the topics that we had. So again, really appreciate it. And this is Foryou25 the King signing off, and I enjoyed this broadcast.